Throughout the past 4 seasons, Connor McDavid has been on a generational run, and it has continued into this season and into the Stanley Cup final through Game 1 against the Florida Panthers. And through his last 4 regular seasons, he has put up astronomical numbers, putting up in 2021-2022 123 points. In 2022-23, he put up 64 goals and 89 assists for 153 points. And then in 2024, he had 100 assists and 132 points. And then in 2025, this past season, he hit 100 points despite only playing 67 games. And in these 4 seasons, he's put up 508 points in 305 games, which is an absolutely absurd point total. But in the playoffs, he has only elevated his game, which is one of the reasons that people consider him to be a top 5 player of all time, potentially, and easily the best player in the NHL right now. Because in his last 4 playoff runs, he has played 70 games, which is not even a full season, and has put up 123 points, 32 goals, 91 assists, and 123 points. In this playoffs alone, he has 17 games played, 6 goals, 22 assists, and 28 points. And in game 1 against Florida, he had 2 assists, including a beauty on the overtime winner to Leon Draisaitl. And last season, he set the record for most assists in a single playoffs with 34 and had 42 points in only 25 games, averaging almost 2 points a game. And going back even to 2021-2022, when he made his first conference final against the Colorado Avalanche, he had 10 goals, 23 assists, 33 points in only 16 games, averaging over 2 points a game. In his last 4 playoff runs, he has put up a season's worth of points in only 70 games. And Connor is showing why he is undisputably the best player in the world right now, and he's going to be a problem for years to come. And I think in the last 25 years, in the 21st century, him and Sidney Crosby are easily the best players and the best leaders. And now all McDavid needs is a Stanley Cup to really cement his legacy in the NHL. Because if you look at the point totals that he's put up the past 4 seasons in both the regular season and the playoffs, he has been absolutely dominant. And if you look at other stars around the league, even guys like Austin Matthews and even Nathan MacKinnon to a certain extent, while they have been solid in the playoffs, going to MacKinnon and Matthews has been more distant and unreliable in the playoffs. But if you go and look at other players in the NHL, their points per game drastically goes down during the playoffs, and some of these players cannot step up when it matters the most. But players like McDavid and even Nikita Kucherov to an extent has upped his game in the playoffs and has been unbelievable throughout the past couple of seasons, and has really led this Oilers team to a Stanley Cup appearance twice in the last 2 years. And these stats will only go up as this Stanley Cup final goes along. And part of McDavid's majestic aura that he has going on is the fact that he has only scored 32 goals of his 123 points. He's not just shooting the puck and scoring goals for himself, but he's making guys like 40-year-old Corey Perry and Zach Hyman look amazing. I'm not saying those guys are bad players, but he's making them look absolutely phenomenal, even when Corey Perry is 40 years old. Over the past 4 seasons, McDavid has averaged 1.76 points per game in the playoffs, which is an absolutely absurd number because even averaging a point per game in the playoffs is ridiculously good. People are praising other players for averaging a point per game and saying that those are clutch playoff performers, and McDavid is averaging nearly double that. And in the regular season, he's been just as good, averaging about 1.7 points per game over the past 4 seasons. And McDavid has been such a clutch player over the course of his career. And even look at the Stanley Cup final last year when they were down 3-0 in the series. He willed his team back and was a really good leader. And that's something that people don't give him enough credit for, is his leadership ability and the fact that McDavid can really lead a team. And he's grown a lot in that way throughout his career, because early on in his career, his interviews were awkward. He seemed a little bit awkward leading his team, and he got given the captaincy at only 20 years old, which is a little bit early for a player like him. But he has really elevated his game and really elevated his leadership style as well to the point where he has become one of the best captains and leaders in the NHL. And I think that it's due to his leadership ability that he has made and helped this Oilers team come to back-to-back cup finals, and now they have a lead 1-0 in this year's Stanley Cup final. And there's a really good chance that he can really close it out with his team, with this Oilers team. This Oilers team is the best Oilers team that we've seen throughout the McDavid era. And McDavid and his leadership are a huge part of that. And while he doesn't have to be as involved in scoring, and he doesn't have to have as many crazy plays and log as much ice time this year, his leadership is still just as valuable and has grown significantly throughout the past few years. And that is what has made him go from a star and a really good player to a superstar that is undisputably the best player in hockey. Let me know if you think that the Oilers will clinch the Stanley Cup, and if how many Stanley Cups you think Connor McDavid will win throughout the course of his career. God bless you all. Have an amazing day, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. God bless.